Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Stream Dialogue. Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger just withdraw from the International Criminal Court, the ICC. And I'm smiling so much because the very first video I did on this platform, this channel, on YouTube, on TikTok as well, the very first video I posted was about the creation of a Sahelian criminal and human rights court. And this could have been predicted from the announcement by these three revolutionary governments. And what we as Africans, especially this generation, we don't have the excuse anymore to say, to blame leaders and so forth when we ourselves are not standing behind a lot of these leaders that are making the effort to decolonize. And what we are witnessing in 2025 and a little bit before is decolonization 2.0 or 3.0, as I like to say. So what does this mean? This is huge. This is really big. This has never been done before. Yes, we've seen the withdrawal from these governments withdraw from ECOWAS. Yes, but to touch these international organizations, and during my first videos and videos that I've done before, I have mentioned that these so-called international organizations is just to reinforce colonialism because everything works together. We know that nothing happens in a vacuum. These people create these things to be instrument to keep Africans and African governments in check. You know, I remember I did a video about the Ivorian president, the former Ivorian president, Laurent Gbagbo, when he was taken to the ICC. His Ivory Coast was invaded right after Libya was invaded, or before Libya was invaded. I'm not really sure about the timeline, but Laurent Gbagbo was taken to the ICC, charged, put on charge, and spent years in the in an international prison, only for them to come out and say he did nothing wrong. So, ladies and gentlemen, all because he disobeyed France. He did not want to bend the knee to France. So, in our analysis, yes, the spectacle of this announcement is very huge. But our key analysis is that this will expose a lot of stuff. This come together with the creation of the Sahelian Criminal and Human Rights Court. And going back to the first video I made again, I said when this court is up and running, a lot of people, a lot of organizations, a lot of countries, a lot of government are going to be exposed. And how do I say they would be exposed? A lot of so-called terrorist leaders, terrorist chiefs, mercenaries have been captured. Lots of mercenaries have been captured, and they will sing. When they are put on trial, they will sing, they will talk. They will expose where they got their funding from, where they got their direction from, which government they cooperated with, which organization they cooperated with, who fund them, who support them, and what help they got from neighboring countries, countries like Algeria, Benin, Cote d'Ivoire, all these regimes who know have been huge supporter of terrorism in the Sahel and in West Africa in particular. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is some this is welcome news. These governments are not here to play. They're not here to play. And during the readout of the communique, the press release from the Minister of communication. I watched it on Burkina Faso TV. It played on all three national television, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. So the ICC has been transformed into an instrument of neocolonial repression of imperialism. So you can tell these people are targeting. They are speaking to the people. So they are listening to the people. And they've understand that these organizations are instrument of neocolonialism. Not only that, they've accused the ICC of being incapable, incapable of settling justice. So there's been a lot of stuff happening in the world. You know, we see in the ICC that the only people that have been prosecuted are Africans, and a lot of the I mentioned Laurent Gbagbo from Ivory Coast. He was accused of so many crimes, only for the same people put him in jail to say he committed no crime. But those who are actually committing a crime, that the world can see that these people are committing crime, they are not being prosecuted. Why? Because they are not African. They're not black. Or maybe they're not some guy from the Philippines, as we saw with the former president of Philippines earlier this year, where he was snatched on a plane. It seems like these, you know, I spoke about the inhumanity of these international organizations. Who give Rome, who give the West the right to prosecute Africans, to prosecute people around the world? Who give them the right? Who give them that right? This is the inhumanity I talk about. Talk about these international system that we have. You're telling me since the creation of the ICC, look at all the crimes that have been committed against countries and peoples around the world by certain Western countries, and no one have been prosecuted. They haven't even been mentioned. So this is the inhuman. There's a certain rule for some people to follow, and there's another set of rule for some people to follow. Those people can do anything they want, and they won't be prosecuted. This is neocolonialism being challenged and being fought, and you're going to see more of this. I I'm laughing because seriously, this is really welcome, and I want to see more African countries get in a state of revolution. Now is the time. Now is the time. And for the youth, you can complain, oh, your leader is dead, but what are you doing in your country? You're not doing anything. Sitting down and what, waiting for some politician to come and change things. Politician will this what these leaders in the Sahel have done. No politician will ever do anything like that. Number one, because who put them in power? The neo-colonialists, the imperialists will never allow them to do it. And they're scared. And most of them, i.e., in Cote d'Ivoire, the president, he is somebody that should be prosecuted, not the former president. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is welcome, and let's get in deeper in this analysis. Over the past few months, again, every video that I do, whether it's the show Let's Reason or whatever, it is connected. Everything I say is connected one way or another. What we're doing, we're connecting the dots because we understand imperialism, we understand neocolonialism and how it works. Number one, over the past few months, you've heard a lot of stories about human rights violation by the AES. You remember the report by the UN representative in Burkina Faso, where they accused the Burkinabe government, where they try to lump the Burkinabe government with the terrorists, as if there's no difference between Burkinabe government and the terrorists. They're accusing them of even not just human rights violation, but violation against children. So you see this is how they build the case of taking our leaders who have defied them, who have decided to stand up for their sovereignty. They build the case slowly by slowly, manufacturing consent. You've you you've seen Burkina Faso made sovereign decision, and you see we scroll social media and you see a lot of a what you would call them so-called leftists in the West, and I've done a video about that as well. That the Western left cannot be trusted because it has been co-opted, infiltrated, and a lot of even those who have even without infiltrator, many of them have been brainwashed to think more in an exceptional way. That their worldview should be the only worldview. If somebody deviate from what they believe in, then it doesn't matter what good that person have done. That person deserve to be, you know, discarded. And this is how imperialism have flourished in the West because the so-called progressive forces have this exceptional mindset that they're exceptional over other progressive forces in the world. If you understand what I'm saying, but they're trying to build these cases, and I believe that the intelligence of these revolutionary movement in the Sahel know the mode of operation by these organizations. Not only are they tools of imperialism, but how they go by prosecuting and indicting leaders. So you can see they were building the case. They accused Mali of human rights violation of targeting certain ethnic group, which is a lie. They've accused Niger of targeting other ethnic groups as the same thing. You remember the so-called targeting of Fulani tribes, Fulani people. So this is how they build the case. You see all these lackeys online talking, spreading this propaganda. And I believe they were planning to issue maybe an arrest warrant or something against the AES leader. And what would be the effect of that? A lot of AES leader will not be able to travel to other African countries. They will be boxed in. They will be limited. There's a lot of countries that we call revolutionary countries that are signature. Well, at least they have some kind of progressive force in a sense on the international stage that are signature to the Rome Statute. AES leaders will be limited. So by doing this, I believe this is a you know precedent. Other countries can do the same. They can just discard the ICC. But ladies and gentlemen, I think this is a very intelligent and strategic move by the AES to withdraw from the ICC. Yes, we know the ICC is just just against our Africa. But in terms of geopolitics and a strategic move, this is very good, very good. This is a good move because we know France, they like to politicize a lot of these things to go after to go after leaders who disagree with them or defy them. And not only that, going further, with the creation of the Sahelian Criminal Court, those who commit crimes against human rights violation against African, they'll be judged by African rules. They receive African justice, and they'll be prosecuted the African way and African values. So, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't want to make this very long. Maybe I do a longer video on this, another topic, and how everything connects, or maybe a live video, maybe later on in the week. But thank you so much for joining Stream Dialogue, wherever you're watching this video. Please remember to please remember to subscribe, give us a like. Thank you so much. Salute, love, and respect.